Okay, here we are ready for stoichiometry, problems with food, example 2. Let's make Easter baskets. So we're going to go through the same 3 steps. The 3 steps being write out the basic recipe, then use ratios to determine how many baskets we can actually make, and then writing out the correct final equation with the food we have actually been given. So if we look at the problem here, we've been given 20 bags of candies, 36 colored eggs, and 12 stuffed bunnies. But how many Easter baskets can we actually make out of that number of candy, colored eggs, and stuffed bunnies? Well, in order to figure it out, just like if you're given a whole pound of flour and you have to make cookies, well, you have to measure out how much flour you actually need for the cookies in the recipe. So we need to write the recipe first and figure out how many bags of candies we need, how many colored eggs we need, and how many stuffed bunnies we need in order to make an Easter basket. It actually tells us there in the final sentence. It says each basket needs 2 bags of candies, 6 colored eggs, and 2 stuffed bunnies. Therefore, for step 1, so step 1 is write out the recipe. And this is where we get the general feel for how many of each item we need. So if we look at that final sentence, it says each basket needs 2 bags of candy, 6 colored eggs, and 2 stuffed bunnies. So that means we would need 2 bags of candy. I'm just going to put 2 bags candy, plus 6 colored eggs, plus 2 bunnies, 2 stuffed bunnies, and that is going to produce 1 Easter basket. Okay, so everybody see that? So we need 2 bags of candy for every 1 Easter basket. We need 6 eggs for every 1 Easter basket. And we need 2 stuffed bunnies for every 1 Easter basket. Each of these things has to be included in order for us to have 1 complete Easter basket. So now we go on to step 2. Step 2 says, step 2, ratios to determine baskets. How many baskets we can make from each reactant. So what we have to do is we have to go through each of these different reactants, candy, eggs, etc., and determine how many we can make. So let's create our ratios first. For candy, we have to have 2 bags of candy for every 1 Easter basket. Eggs, we have to have 6 eggs for every 1 Easter basket. I'm getting this right from here. 2 bags of candy, 1 Easter basket. 6 eggs, 1 Easter basket. 2 stuffed bunnies, 1 Easter basket. So for stuffed bunnies, it is 2 stuffed bunnies for every 1 Easter basket. So you just want to start with what you have on the reactant. This right here is what you have on the reactant side. This right here is from our product side. So 2 to 1, 6 to 1, and 2 to 1. Now, how many bags of candy have we actually been given? Look back at our problem. We've been given 20 bags of candy. Eggs, we've been given 36. And stuffed bunnies, we've been given 12. So now using these ratios, we need to determine how many bags of candy, or how many bunnies, how many Easter baskets we could make with 20 bags of candy, with 36 eggs, and with 12 stuffed bunnies. And whichever one makes the least, that's how many Easter baskets we can actually make. So right here, candy, we have a 2 to 1 ratio. So we need to set up 20 in a 2 to 1 ratio, meaning this number has to be 2 times as big as whatever number we put on the side. So easy way to do that, 20 divided by 2. What's 20 divided by 2? It's 10. So keep the ratio the same. It's 20 to 10. That means we could make 10 baskets with this amount of candy. So if we have that amount of candy, we can make 10 baskets. Okay, eggs, we have 36. We have a 6 to 1 ratio, meaning this right here has to be 6 times as big as whatever number goes with it in the ratio. Easiest way to do it, you take this number that you're given in your new ratio and divide it by that number right there. So 36, just like we did up here, we did 20 divided by 2. Here you're going to do 36 divided by 6. What's that going to give you? 6. So with this number of eggs, we could make 6 baskets. So as of right now, how many baskets can we actually make? You have to take the lowest one, because we only have enough eggs to make 6, so we're just going to have to deal with our leftover candy. As of right now, we could only make 6 baskets because you have to take whichever one is lowest. Just like if you have flour and brown sugar to make cookies, I always go to cookies because I make cookies all the time. If you need 2 cups of flour and you're given 50, you're still only going to use 2, right? So right here, we're going to end up with some leftover candy because the number of eggs we're given will only allow us to make 6 baskets. Okay, stuffed bunnies. You got to do 12 divided by 2 to keep that ratio the same. So it's going to give us 6. Therefore, we can only make 6 baskets with the number of stuffed bunnies we have been given. So in total, look at our different ratios here. How many baskets can we make? 6. You take whichever one is the lowest. Whichever one is the lowest. We'll just have to deal with the leftovers. We're okay with leftovers, but what would happen if we tried to make 10 baskets, but we only had enough eggs and enough stuffed bunnies to make 6? Well, that means 4 of the baskets would have nothing but candy, and they wouldn't have eggs, and they wouldn't have stuffed bunnies, and that would be really sad for the little kids who get these Easter baskets. So we would rather have leftovers. So you got to take whichever one's the lowest, so each basket can be full. So we'd have to. So now we know what our product is going to be. On the end, our product is going to be 6 baskets. We have to do step 3, final equation. Final equation. Our final equation will be written the same way as this, but using the numbers we've actually been given. So if we look back at the problem, we've been given 20 bags of candy, 6 eggs, plus 12 bunnies. And that produces, how many baskets did we determine if we had this number of candy, eggs, and bunnies? How many baskets did we determine that it could make? If you said 6, you are correct. Because remember, we look up here, we got to go with whichever one is the lowest. We're okay with leftovers, but if we tried to make 10 and we only had enough eggs and bunnies to make 6, a lot of the baskets wouldn't be complete, and that would be sad. So we have to go with the lowest. So that many candies plus eggs plus bunnies will produce 6 Easter baskets. So if we recap, this was our recipe. This is basically just showing what each basket needs, 6 eggs and 2 bunnies for 1 Easter basket. We set up our ratios right here. Candy is a 2-to-1, eggs is a 6-to-1, and stuffed bunnies is a 2-to-1. Then we kept the ratios the same with the number of each that we actually had. Like we actually had 20 bags of candy. It was 20-to-10, so we could make 10 baskets. 36-to-6, 6 baskets, 2-to-1. Which goes to 12-to-6, we can make 6 baskets, and then we just rewrote our equation with the numbers we actually have. And given these ingredients, we could only make 6 Easter baskets. Example 2, done.